Check. Play your nicest, play your nice. Play your nicest, play your nice. Yeah. Play your nicest, play your nice. Yeah. Play your nicest, play your nicest, play.
What's up, everybody? It's the FantasyFlo podcast. I got my dog Kyrie to the right of me. Don't leave me hanging like that. My dog Vic.
Dolphins, baby.
My dog Casper. All right, today we're going to run down some topics with you. We're going to go over how we do our draft. After we do that, we're going to go over how there's examples of different drafts. And on top of that, we're going to go over some offseason changes, and we're going to go over depth chart analysis. So I hope you guys enjoy what we got for you. Stay tuned. What's going on? All right, so we're going to start it off first today with the draft. And as you all know, we just sat there and we pretty much got our draft spots for the sleeper league, sleeper app league. How do y'all feel about that? I mean,
so I like the way we did it this year. Usually, most drafts they do it random. You just get your pick. The way this is our commissioner right here in that league. So the way he did it is randomized. You get to pick your spot. The spot you want available. If it ain't available, you got to pick what's left. Simple as that. I'm with it.
yeah. And well, see, the thing is that the year before, I think we did it where you placed in your standings. So if your standings you ended in 12th place, you were going to get the last spot to pick a spot. But you know, a lot of people don't necessarily like that idea, so we did a random, and then you pick from that random spot. It makes it more fun. We're always trying to find different ways to try to make fantasy a little bit more interesting, and you know, either upping the money, making the rules a little different. This year, I think we added a flex. I think in Casper's league you want to do Fab, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna do Fab in Casper's league. Just different things. You try to add it. We also added keepers leagues. Normally we do a snake draft. We're doing a keeper snake draft this year. I mean, we play for money. We try to do everything friendly. Try to keep it good. Try to keep the, collusion to a very minimum. Very minimum. I'm telling you, I can tell you stories about a good friend of mine that literally tried to change his whole team in one trade. So it can get crazy. I mean, so as far as the drafts, like, how do y'all feel about the snakes versus the auctions versus Fab leagues or dynasties, keepers? I mean, there's so many things. 10 leagues. 8-team leagues, 12-team leagues. We go through so many different things.
Yeah, 12-team feels the most competitive. You know, everyone ends up with a good team, but there's still it becomes hard. Like you said, we added a flex because we're trying to make it hard. Mm-hmm. To make some like differentiation from us. Mm-hmm. Right. I'm in that auction league. What's cool about that is you literally could go get whoever you want. So if you have your guy, you go get your guy, and so that's a lot of fun. But with Snake, it's a totally different strategy. I mean, we're picking spots, so I don't know. I spent like 45 minutes today trying to pick a spot because you think it's going to really matter.
And what's funny about the auction league when you bring that up is that we sit there and Casper's, I mean, he's tried to teach me auction leagues for a good minute now. So when it comes to the auction league, we end up realizing that there's people that will drive your price up because they see that you want somebody and they want to spend all of your money on one person. So say I want to go get Jonathan. What's it, Jonathan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, so if I want Jonathan Taylor, right? If I want him real bad, and then this man knows that I want him real bad, every time I put $1 on, he's gonna put up a $2. Then if I want him again, I'm gonna put $3.
If you want him, you gotta pay for him.
So you know what I'm saying? It gets a little crazy
until you get stoked with him.
And exactly, and then you end up overpaying for somebody and paying and getting lesser players because you couldn't afford such and such people because you overpaid for one person. So auction leagues get a little tricky, and you got to be real smart and diligent on how you do your research on that. Also, as far as our keeper leagues, we do how me and Casper been thinking about it is that basically we want our keepers wherever you draft them, or if you pick them up in a waiver, we're going to set a certain spot in the draft for the next year for the waiver spots. And let's, for example, just say the 10th round. So if you get a player in the waivers, you're going to draft that person in the 10th round the next year if you keep them. Mm-hmm. If you draft this person as the number one pick, he will always be your number one pick. So if there's a player that's better than him, just understand that's going to be your number one pick. So if it's a player that's in, I want to say the 7th round, you're gonna pick him in the 5th. So if we want to make it harder for you to keeping these players because you're going to keep wasting high draft picks on people. So unless you're very comfortable with something like that, you have to make those decisions.
Yeah, we are looking. You know, you don't want somebody on somebody's team for forever.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you picked up Jonathan Taylor, and you have him forever. Like, we are trying to make him eventually go back in.
All right, so let's dive into it, y'all boys. Start talking about these offseason changes. My dog Vic. So what's going on with the Bills defense though?
Listen, the Bills defense, which as you can see, Dolphin fan, he's Dolphin fan, we Dolphin fans. They got stepped up and they got an elite linebacker. Okay. Now he's a little older. I believe he had a foot injury last year, right?
But he came back for the Rams.
He came back for Rams and they won Super Bowl. So Bills defense definitely upgraded. I would say 100%.
And they were already nasty.
Exactly. I mean, it was a problem. I mean, I can't tell you as a Dolphin fan how I was very upset with seeing that defense kill Tua twice. With that being said, we'll pivot to Khalil Mack and on the Chargers. How's that going to make it? Because, I mean, the Chargers seem like they stacked up. Like, I mean, they stacked up. They went and got J.C. What's his name?
J.C. Jackson, right? The
J.C.
cornerback
Jackson from
Patriots.
Patriots.
Which they needed it. They had a lot of close games they lost.
They drafted Asante Samuel's son. You got two of that. You got one of the best safeties in Derwin James. I mean,
But
talking about
they had
Joey
a good
Bosa.
defense last year, and it didn't really ever show. Like, I mean,
Well,
they
I'm gonna
lost a
tell you
lot
the
of
difference.
games.
I honestly, truly believe that the coach, being a risk it kind of coach, he went for it on 4th down all the time. So the defense really didn't have a good shot all the time. So when you have a quarterback like Herbert, I mean, you got to take your shots, but at the same time, you got to play smart football. So, I mean, that's kind of what that was. But the defense didn't do that good because they were always just being forced right back versus, being able to punt the ball and, you have better field position.
They need Bosa and James to be healthy.
But do you think the Bears made the right decision moving on for Khalil Mack now?
I mean, the Bears, though, they were rebuilding any way you put it. So, I mean, Khalil Mack went to his best situation.
Oh, yeah.
I think that he definitely
He won
going
that.
to go to a situation where he is actually going to win or get into the playoffs on a consistent basis. I mean, he got there with the Bears. The defense was solid. It's just that they didn't believe in Mitch. They didn't believe they babied what's his name, quarterback from Ohio State.
Fields.
Fields. They babied him all the way mid-season. I mean, it's a lot that they got to do.
They never took off like they were supposed to, I guess. But,
yeah, so I mean, the Bears are rebuilding. I mean, shoot, you talk about the receivers. We only got Darnell Mooney at the moment.
That's it.
So if y'all looking at a receiver on the Bears, just understand
Kokomo,
Darnell
baby.
Mooney. And I'll tell you, I can't remember the other receiver. He's I think he was number 12.
Anthony Miller's gone. I think.
Anthony Miller's actually on the Steelers now. I can't remember his name, but number 12 on the Chicago Bears. I'm telling you now, he might actually be something. Anyway, so let's just go pivot over here. That's a little defense talk. How y'all feel about Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan going to the Colts.
Kyrie, that's the elevation for them? What's up?
We'll see. I mean, they got Jonathan Taylor, so they can use him to kind of open up their offense and have the defenses focus on him. As far as protection goes, I think the Colts' offensive line has improved. So it just all depends. Matt Ryan, he's a veteran, so he should do pretty well. It depends on their offensive scheme, but we'll see.
Would you say that's an upgrade over Carson Wentz automatically?
Oh, for real.
I think it's an upgrade over Carson Wentz simply because he's a vet. He's had many years in the league.
Yeah.
So him being there, it might work out for him.
I mean, Carson went to a Super Bowl, but he didn't win the Super Bowl for the Eagles.
Right.
Matt Ryan was actually playing. So if you're asking me, he's a little bit more tested in the fire for that. So
MVP went to the Super Bowl.
Also,
He did win MVP,
and
right.
you're thinking about it. He was on a depleted Atlanta team last year, and Matt Ryan still did decent.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me that you got Paris Campbell, pray to God he stays healthy. You tell me you got Pittman, and you tell me you got
I
Jonathan
love
Taylor.
Pittman.
You know what I'm saying? You actually got something for Matt Ryan to mess with. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, Matt Ryan might do some things this year, y'all.
Yeah, Campbell's doing pretty good over there. He's starting to build a rapport with Matt Ryan, so we'll see how that goes.
And their defense is good.
Defense has been solid, boy.
I mean, Carson Wentz was not good to watch. It was just not enjoyable.
Hey, but he's on the Commanders this year. I don't know what's gonna go with that, but
And that's another situation where they got solid running backs who can make some plays. So
I'm a little scared about that one, boy. I ain't gonna lie.
We'll see what happens with Wentz.
What Matt Ryan did use who's the one from FSU, the running back they had on
Devontae, no,
Devontae
Freeman.
he used him for a lot of checkdowns, so I guess John Taylor would get a lot more checkdowns rather than
No,
Nakeem
not Jonathan
Hines,
Taylor.
bro.
Nakeem Hines. Yeah.
Him too.
Naeem
Yeah.
Hines. Sorry, let me
Naeem.
pronounce.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a very important piece because the way that Matt Ryan uses his running backs, just like how you said with Devontae Freeman, it's a lot of screen passes. You're gonna get a lot of receptions. They already used him for a lot of receptions.
Because they use him and Tevin Coleman. That's true for dual threat.
And that's kind of why people are thinking that like Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook may score higher than Taylor this year, just because he may not get that much passing work.
Yeah,
But I tell you, he was running all over them boys last year, so it might not even matter. Let's go to another very, very big storyline. We got Russell Wilson going to the Broncos. I mean, obviously,
boy.
we seen the writing on the wall. You know what I'm saying? We seen the writing on the wall. Russell Wilson was out here playing like he wanted to.
what you said?
That's right.
Hey, FantasyFlo. That's right.
That dude is corny, bro.
FantasyFlo.
Bro, he showed up in his jersey. He showed up to practice
Fantasy
wearing his own jersey.
Oh my god.
Yeah, bro. Russell Wilson.
Fantasy.
He gotta show up, man.
That's right.
Then you gotta play.
Y'all saw Keenan Allen doing it? He's
Yeah.
like both family. That's right.
And they in the division, bro. That's pretty great.
The dude from South Carolina was even mocking
Oh
him. That
yeah,
shit
the
was-
college
oh my
quarterback
God.
was doing
Oh
it.
my god.
No, but yes, bro. Russell Wilson, I will say he has a very high floor. His division is super hard, but fantasy-wise, his floor is crazy. He lost Tim Patrick today. So that was going to be somebody that a lot of people were going to target in the late rounds, but Tim Patrick is gone, so KJ Hamler is going to be the guy, the third receiver. But, I mean, you still got Jerry Jeudy.
Baller.
You still got Cortland Sutton, who's your big, tall, up-top receiver.
Yep.
You're going to get a lot of work out
There's
of
a
it.
lot of love for that tight end. I can't
remember his name either, but, I mean, they let go of Noah Fant. Obviously, it was a part of a
Is
trade.
his name All? Is his last name All?
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
But either way, they say he's pretty decent, and I think that's going to end up turning into a really good offense to watch. You got to also remember you have
running backs.
yeah, exactly. That's about to say Gordon. You got Williams, and Williams was a bowling ball. He didn't go down last year.
And Wilson knows how to spread the ball. We've seen it on Seahawks. He knows how to facilitate everyone to use his offense completely. So
And not to mention his defense is solid. So therefore,
I mean, that whole division I want a piece of, because I don't think any of the defenses are going to be that great. I don't think they're, and the offenses are just
Denver,
gonna
I think
score.
Denver's it was good last year. That's
It'll
the
be
reason why
good, but
games were close.
I just
because
think
of
it's
them.
going to be fire. I think every time the over-under is going to be crazy
Well,
high and
I mean,
it'll be fun to play.
We're on the topic of that division. I mean, let's go to the Raiders. I mean, big stories, big stories. I mean, we could also pivot to the Packers, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Derek Carr, man, he got his best friend from college back, y'all.
His boy.
He got his boy. A lot of people think that he might not do something. To me, I think rapport means something. I mean, when you look at Tua and you look at Jalen Waddle, it was an instant rapport last year, and quote unquote Tua can't throw. So let's just say, I mean, Derek Carr got his guy back. He had Hunter Renfrow, where he basically was the man. Who else? He got Darren Waller. He has two solid running backs, a rookie running back that's supposed to be really nice.
But I do think I don't know if Hunter Renfrow was going to do either last year. I was surprised.
I was surprised he did
As much
too,
as he
but at
did.
the same time, if you remember him in Clemson, Hunter Renfrow was that.
Yeah, but
So
And not only that, you got if Devontae Adams attracts attention, it's gonna leave Hunter Renfrow open.
Exactly.
But now tell me this: what was his stats last year, Devontae? I think I have it there.
he had like
Devontae,
17 touches or
he
something.
had 123 receptions, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns.
So I think you have maybe more touchdowns. I don't think I have many yards though.
See, I don't
think I have
I
1,500
mean,
yards.
Derek Carr's he's thrown for like 30 touchdowns, I think, once in his career.
Yeah.
And so, like,
It was MVP
consist-
season,
no,
though.
yeah, high
That was his
touchdowns.
MVP
Nah,
season.
Pretty
he-
consistent.
Nah,
his
man.
yards consistent.
He
had
has
lot
a
of
high
yards.
yardage, but they run the
He
ball.
throws a
in.
lot of picks. He
got-
sometimes gives up the game, and that's the difference between somebody like Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr. But when you have weapons, it makes the game easier. You know what I'm saying? So you like his MVP year, he had Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper was killing
Crabtree.
it. You know, Crabtree was killing it. So it's like, now you're telling me I got the best receiver,
Mediocre.
quote unquote. You got Adams, you got Renfro, you got Waller, and they picked up Demarcus Robinson from the Chiefs. He's a speedster. I mean, when he was on the Chiefs, and we were thinking that what's his name, 17,
Like McCole Hardman.
Cole Hardman. McCole Hardman. When we thought McCole Hardman was going to be the guy, it's always ends up Robinson catching these touchdowns.
Yeah, they have a plethora of receivers at their disposal that they use at any point, and they did pretty well. So
I mean, like Devontae, I think he'd be top 12, but like he ain't gonna be 1. I don't even know if he'll be 5.
He might.
I mean,
but I would be surprised if he's not.
I don't think he's top 5 this year, just because I don't think he's gonna score enough touchdowns to run the ball. Like Waller's gonna get his, Renfro's gonna get his,
Maybe they won't.
Jacobs. I mean, like I said, I don't see Derek Carr sustaining him.
I think we're seeing we're seeing like a youth movement when it comes to the receivers. To be honest with you, Justin Jefferson might go off this year. I actually think Chase might actually got lightning in the bottle, and he might just like regress a little bit. But that's neither there. Yeah. So go back to that same division. We hit the Raiders. Let's go to the Chiefs. So they lost Tyreek Hill.
Thank you.
So tell me what do y'all feel about that? Like, you obviously have Juju as a replacement. You have Sky Moore. He just hurt himself, so he might be a little. They shut down one of their promising rookies that they drafted as well. But they also picked up MVS from the Packers.
Yeah, they got MVS.
So they got some more speed. And you still got McCole Hardman, who was supposed to be the next Tyreek Hill as far as speed-wise, you know?
Yeah.
So them boys still look nice. Don't get me twisted now. And I think they picked up another running back, Rojo.
They do have Rojo.
They picked up Rojo. That's a hitter. I mean, because,
Ronald Jones.
you know, CEH, he sometimes he be tripping.
exactly,
Sometimes
gotta
he
be
be
a
tripping.
good handcuff.
So, you know, Rojo's, he might actually do some
Yeah,
work,
because
y'all.
you never know what's going to happen with CEH.
Yeah.
I honestly think this may help Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes was relying on Tyreek Hill too much.
I mean, you
He's
still
always
got
doing
Kelsey.
The
You
best
still
tight end
got-
in my opinion.
He is,
And
but
at the end of the day, like I said before, the Kansas City Chiefs always made it work with the receivers that they had.
exactly.
So I think giving away Tyreek Hill will let you know that they're not really worried about their receivers. They should.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
straight up.
you're right.
Andy Reid believes in his system, y'all. Andy Reid believes in his system. His system works. It worked in Philly. It worked in with Alex Smith. I mean,
Juju balled out. I mean, he could ball out again. I mean,
see, when Juju became the number one, everything shut down for him. But you're talking about Travis Kelce, MVS. You're talking about McCole Hardman. You're talking about Sky Moore. Like the focus can't be just Juju. It's gonna be obviously Travis Kelce, but them other boys gonna do their thing.
Yeah. Especially with the offense.
Yeah.
They'll figure something out.
And they already upgraded the O-line, so hopefully we'll have issues with that because as we've seen, Pat Mahomes can get the ball to whoever he wants. It's just they got to catch it. Simple as that.
I mean, pretty much every team in this division, I'm going to try to get somebody.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
take
maybe
a
two.
shot.
It's
So,
right.
I
Two
mean,
or three people we probably want.
listen. I mean, the Chargers look nice too, y'all.
Yeah.
Chargers look nice.
Who you
too.
think's gonna win that division?
I don't even know.
It would probably be. It's probably going to be the Broncos. I mean, the defense is really good, and Russell Wilson is going to be good enough on that offense. I don't know how you're going to.
I mean, truth be told, right? I honestly think the Chiefs having camaraderie already. I mean, they're replacing people. They've been there before. I mean, safe bet. For me, the safe bet always works. The Chiefs, you know, they got Patrick Mahomes. They paid this man $500 million, dog. This man is the real deal. So you can go reach for him if you want.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers, man. I don't know what it is. I just think they got a lot of talent.
I mean,
Herbert's that dude. It
Herbert
seems
is
like
that dude,
they
but-
might have a Bengal season. Who knows?
Hey, listen though, I'm gonna tell y'all this thing one time. Herbert obviously is better than Tua, but he still ain't made no playoffs. And Tua ain't made no playoffs yet either. But Herbert ain't do it yet, and he's supposedly the best person. And I promise you, he don't got a better team than us right now. So,
Have you been seeing people think Mike Williams is going to finish ahead of Keenan Allen? You think that's going to
I
happen?
was just thinking about that.
why would they think that?
Yeah, I mean those 9
You
games.
gotta think, how old is Keenan Allen now?
third.
Keenan Allen has got a good rapport, and he
33,
he
I
just
think.
33, so he kind of getting up there in age. Mike Williams, he was balling last year. He showed that he can be a reliable receiver.
Yeah.
So I think if Keenan Allen gets a lot of attention like he typically does, it should open some things up for Mike Williams. And then you have to worry about Austin Eckler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I mean, here's my thought on that, right? You can say Mike Williams will finish ahead of him. I just think that big receivers tend to get injured a little bit more. That's kind of been Mike Williams' Achilles heel for his career. You have to expect that from him. He might not show up a few games. He might drop you 30 points one game. You know what I'm saying? One thing about Keenan Allen
had that
though,
last
he's
year.
a little bit more consistent than people think. And I think that he runs his routes real crisp. I think he catches the ball all the time. He's really reliable, and I think Herbert searches for him. I mean, people get up in age and still ball out. I mean,
yeah, of course.
but
It all depends. It just depends on how the season goes along, each matchup, what the scheme is on offense. It just all depends. You know, we're not necessarily saying that Mike Williams will be the guy and he'll finish ahead of Keenan Allen, but it's a possibility.
If you're like they're saying, if you're in a PPR league, I definitely see a high value for Keenan Allen. I had him last year. There was moments where he only got me 120 yards, but he gave me 17 receptions. I mean,
He does have crazy numbers like that.
I'll
but
take that
Mike,
any day.
Mike Williams was doing, I think
he was getting the yards
He was getting
and the
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
games where he's just out of his mind.
Yeah, over
Yeah.
30 points. But then those games he got me
Yeah,
like
they-
8.
All right. Big news alert. Big. All right. Deshaun Watson. We're going to make this quick. Deshaun Watson got suspended 6 games. Everybody has their opinions on if it's too much, if it's too little, whatever it is. We're not here to discuss that. But I tell y'all now, if you're in a keepers league, he's a steal. Because if you want to go a top 5 possible QB for the next couple of years, you pick that boy up late in the draft. That boy is going to be a value every single year to you. So that's just a thought. But I mean, after them 6 games, you got Nick Chubb, you got Amari Cooper, you got Kareem Hunt,
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Peoples-Jones, who's been
David
looking really
Player
good.
I really like.
Yeah,
David
he's been
Njoku.
doing his thing. And Njoku finally showed that he was somebody.
And they got rid of more.
I think it was Baker's fault.
He
And they got rid of,
healthy, too.
but
Yeah.
they got like, I think they brought in Hooper, and then they had somebody else there
Hooper
too.
Hooper
Hooper's
finally
gone now.
went to
got
Tennessee,
traded.
I believe.
Yeah, I think
now.
he is on Tennessee, but like they brought him in, and
Yeah.
they had like a 3 tight end monster. At one
Yeah,
point,
at
for
one
some
point.
reason.
And they
'cause-
never utilized it.
Yeah, at
It
all.
makes sense.
It's the
Trying
Browns.
to roll the dice on choosing one of their tight ends is like you're gambling every time.
So what do you guys feel about Amari though? I mean, he's obviously leaving Dallas and he's coming to the Browns and he's going to be the focal point receiver. I mean,
If he's late enough, I'd draft him. But my whole thought, except the running backs, is I'd rather just wait till the suspension's over and then try to go trade for him, and like just be like, see if somebody's fed up or whatever, and try to go get him that point. I don't want to wait the 6 weeks to see what happens.
I can't say he's a top 10 wide receiver anymore either. He's just after what happened with Dallas. I don't know if that's his fault or Dak's fault, but he just didn't produce as
Yeah,
much
they're
as he
gonna
should
run
have.
the hell out of that ball. So
yeah, which is to me why he may not have the numbers he did in Dallas or on the Raiders, but he may benefit from a lot of play action.
Yeah.
So you're talking about for 6 weeks, his quarterback is Jacoby Brissett. He's not great and he's not horrible. I mean,
We know.
Dolphins know. I mean, who else knows?
Yeah,
The Patriots know.
Patriots
The
know.
Colts
The Colts.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of those serviceable quarterbacks that will get you maybe 15 points if you need a quarterback. But he is not somebody I'm telling you is going to go get you 50 points.
Yeah, I don't know that he's ever had like a receiver worth starting.
Yeah.
Ever in a week.
I mean, Ty, but Ty was also
Yeah.
regressing at that point.
yeah,
He was also
he was
regressing.
injured a lot last season.
And don't be surprised. I mean, with Deshaun out 6 games, first 6 games, Nick Chubb might get 30 carries a game those first 6 games.
I love Nick Chubb
You
and
gotta
Kareem
worry
Hunt.
about Kareem Hunt too.
Him
But
too, yeah.
I think that the Browns have a stacked defense. They have a stacked offense. once Deshaun comes back, that thing should be humming. But obviously, you know, rust is a thing, so you might not want to give Deshaun like a week or two before you actually let him start in your lineup.
They got a bye week 9.
Yeah, bye week in 9. So you got to think about that. He's gonna come right back, and then in 2 games, and then he's gone again. So it's fancy football for you guys. Let's go from there. My dog Casper's gonna love this topic. Rodgers, how you feel about Rodgers staying? I know you feel like he's a crybaby.
He's
sometimes.
a Packers fan as well, people. If you didn't know.
I mean, Rodgers is the man, and so they're paying him $50 million. You know, oh, they need to give him wide receivers. Bro, we're paying you $50 million. You better make wide receivers good. And so, like, he's having a ton of fun. Him and David Bakhtiari are, like, dancing in golf carts. I think he's having a blast. And he's trolling Devontae Adams, calling Alan Lazard a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Famer, yo.
He'll make him that if you want to,
I mean,
guess.
and the Packers have done this before. I mean, Jordy Nelson, nobody knew who he was. Donald Driver, or maybe it was Greg Jennings. Like, I think Donald Driver was our last like highly drafted.
He was
wide
expected to be
receiver.
good. Yeah.
So the Packers are like the Steelers. They get these guys out of nowhere, and so I think Rodgers is gonna be just
definitely
fine.
draft really well. And that's just the knock on them. They draft really well, but when it comes to the first round, we all know they don't take no receivers. But you would think after they lost Devontae, you would have drafted a top receiver.
Yep.
I'm not mad at it. Is it Watson?
Watson and then Dubs now.
Yeah,
Romeo
I've been hearing about
Who's-
Dubs a
who's
lot.
tight end?
Tight end is gonna be
Oh, Tanyan.
Tanyan.
Robert
he's
Tonyan
back,
still?
he's back.
Okay.
He had an ACL injury.
Okay.
But he was dominant. Like,
He was. That was a
Tanyan was, when I saw Tanyan actually start balling, I was very upset I didn't pick him up.
I don't see people though recommending picking him up, which I don't know. I think is kind of crazy. If you're waiting,
But you got to remember, tight end is like a very, very, very tough position to really execute. Sometimes you end up thinking that you got a top 5 one, and the 5th one is just literally completely trash.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about, I mean, you're looking at Kelsey, Andrews, Kittle, and then you're thinking about Kyle Pitts. I mean, I thought Hawkinson was that guy too, but I'm actually gonna probably throw somebody like Schultz in there. Probably.
I think he's projected
Schultz.
3 this year. Still.
Who?
Hodgkinson.
I can't take Hawkinson 3.
can't just.
I don't know if I blame him. I blame Jared Goff.
But
I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean,
Hawkinson, he came
does.
through when I needed him.
In the beginning, he was balling.
He was killing it.
then-
I just don't know if I want him no more. That's why I invest
That's why fantasy
highly.
is all about rolling the dice. You gotta
Yeah,
take a chance.
I invest high on a tight end because if you get a top tier tight end, you can at least
It's a less
consider
worry.
you can at least know that you're for the most part getting 10 points that week.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when you get a tight end, they
I'm
only
going
get
for
2
those
points.
top guys, and then I'm just taking shots at the end.
Which is fine. You can get away with that because you might hit on somebody,
Yeah, like
Do the research though if you can't get the top tight end.
Yeah, you want to make sure you know.
Match-
Guys
Matchups.
in the later
Oh,
rounds.
so you gotta look at all that stuff.
All right, so it's not last, but it's one of the bigger ones too, for sure. We all got opinions being the home team, but the Miami Dolphins, ladies and gentlemen, Tua is not trash,
Public enemy number 1.
and I want to let y'all know this right now. Y'all saw that 65-yard bomb that he did the other day. That boy is serious, and he don't hear the media talking to him. Whatever he's doing to keep everybody in the noise out, that man is killing it right now. I love the way he has that confidence. And I don't want to speak too much on him and give you any predictions as far as what the offense is gonna do or what the record is gonna be, because every time I've done it, the Dolphins let me down. So, with that being said,
Zip lips.
zip lips. But I will tell you that Tyreek Hill got traded to us. We picked up Cedric Wilson. On top of picking up Cedric Wilson, we still have Jalen Waddle. We picked up 3 nice running backs. Mostert, Edmonds. I think
Gas might be gone.
He might be.
Gaskins
Listen, bro,
gonna get
we
cut,
just
bro.
signed
That's
Sony
what they
Michelle.
rumored.
He just won a Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got Sony Michelle.
They're all cheap. The
And
ones we
actually,
got.
that's his second Super Bowl, if y'all think about it.
Patriots.
Yeah,
and then,
that boy. Listen, that boy is a workhorse. If y'all remember what he looked like in Georgia, he was a problem. That boy is our ground and pound running back off rip.
And I think Mike McDaniels wants to run. He wants to
Exactly.
run and let Tua play action.
And I'm telling you right now, Monster, the speed, when he hits those holes and it's a run scheme, he's already been in this running offense already. He's going to be a problem. Jaceki, though, I mean, I got a update the other day, and he was telling the update basically said that he needs to be blocking more this year. And if you remember how the Dolphins used Gesicki in the previous years, they actually lined him up as a receiver more than anything. And to be honest with you, Gesicki reminds me of Jimmy Graham. He just hasn't shown that potential yet. And to be honest with you, he can still be very productive in this offense. If you look at George Kittle, even though he's a great blocker, that boy still, once that run game starts moving,
He gets his catches.
And then he kills and dominates. And Gesicki could be just as good as long as he actually follows suit. He got to start blocking, though.
Even last year, though, like the catches he was making,
Yeah,
it was
Gesicki's
straight
amazing
hands. It was straight hands.
Gesicki's a
He has
problem,
pure
yo.
talent.
Spectacular catches.
My whole thing with this is I don't think Tua is gonna support all this. So like that's really what it becomes to me is it's in the reports are coming out he's blocking, but like I really think you get Hill and Waddle and then supporting a third weapon.
I think the
You know,
running
the
backs come into play at that point.
Yeah, of course.
Because I think, listen, you don't get a Edmonds and not want to throw the ball to him out the backfield. You don't get a Monster and Sony Michel without running them. I mean, we're gonna run our running backs. We're gonna because obviously, if you remember last year, the Dolphins were horrible. The run game was horrible.
Yeah.
Gaskins was just not hitting the hole. He wasn't breaking nobody. The line wasn't protecting. We got a better line now.
We got some additions
You know,
on the
we got everything this year, and I mean, I'm like I said, no predictions. I'm not doing it, but we look nice.
We better than the Pats. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, for sure.
Week 1.
And we don't talk about the Jets. They're trash.
Yeah.
Jets trash, Giants trash.
New York.
Oh, okay. So this one, last but not least, on the offseason changes. My dog Allen Robinson. Listen now, if y'all saw last year, I know it was rough. I traded for him thinking that maybe it was gonna work.
I thought it was gonna be it.
But listen, Allen Robinson was hurting, boy. But I'll tell you what, Allen Robinson on a team like the Rams with a quarterback that he's never had, like, oh man, I can only imagine the big body receivers.
Yep.
That's touchdowns, that's jump balls, like, and he used to run good deep routes too. So I don't know if it's going to be more so reception based, but he might get chunk yards, a lot of chunk yards.
I mean, I don't even remember whose quarterback was in Jacksonville. I mean,
Jacksonville, it was Bortles.
It was Bortles. I mean, like, I
But
can do it.
To Bortles' credit, they went to the conference championship. To his credit,
To defense credit.
yeah, and Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Bortles, he threw his fair share of touchdowns too.
yeah, he had his bad
lot of
games, his
garbage
good
time
games.
plays.
Yeah, for sure. But Allen Robinson, boy,
Stafford's held 2 wide receivers, or even in LA, just LA. You always had Woods and Cup. So
yeah.
I mean,
So
there's
now
no
we don't
reason.
have Woods now, but now you take out Woods, you enter in Allen Robinson. Now my only thing now is there's the question of is Odell coming back, but the thing is they really don't need it. I mean, Van Jefferson has a knee issue, which opens the door for them to come back and sign
But
Odell.
Odell's
Odell's
not-
not coming back anytime soon, so I don't really see that as a thing. But it's something to think about, and maybe you don't pick up Odell in your draft, but you could try to get him later on
Hopefully
in the
the
year.
Packers pick him up.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I doubt
actually.
that.
Yeah.
It'll help you.
It would help though. But other than that, Allen Robinson, I think is a surefire, solid receiver. He may not be a wide receiver 1, but I can definitely see him balling out.
I think this is the first time he has a really good quarterback in his career, so we can expect big things, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's switch things up a little bit. Let's go to the draft. When it comes to the draft, a lot of people have a lot of different strategies. So when I think of me entering a draft, I want to think about a workhorse running back. I think there's thousands of great receivers, and then there's going to always be a rookie receiver that just kills it. It's very hard to strike lightning on a good running back. So to me, one of those things is that you want to get you a solid running back, and trust me, your life, it seems a little bit easier as long as you have at least 2 to 3. But I can't lie to you, when you get somebody like Cooper Kupp, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, if you had Cooper Kupp last year and you could just figure out your other running backs, you're golden.
I'm telling you, Cooper Kupp was giving you 30 a week. 30 a week.
Consistently, man.
30 a week. And that was receptions, yards, touchdowns. I think he did the triple crown, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Crown,
did
yeah.
he?
Crown.
That's
That boy is
awesome.
crazy, bro.
And I mean, people say that wide receivers are more reliable. You don't have the injuries like you do with running backs. You know, a lot of first round running backs end up busting. You don't get that with a wide receiver, but I'm with you that like running back is more important, but there's some top tier wide receivers that
So
kind of
You can't
on the,
pass up
on the
pretty
flip
much.
to that, what I like to do in that situation, I probably sit there and look for a running back that does more than one thing. So if you get Jonathan Taylor, he's great. Don't get me twisted. He's gonna run 300 yards one game.
Or Derrick Henry.
PPR.
Yeah, but for PPR leagues, which most people do, I mean, there's people who like to do standard and make it a little harder on themselves. But, you know, PPR is a little bit more fun. So when you're talking about a PPR league, I'm looking at somebody like Austin Eckler. I mean, this man literally will go catch 6-10 balls in a game, over 100 yards, get a touchdown, and then run goal line touchdowns in. So, I mean, like, you're getting the best of both worlds. So I think a running back is super vital to your team. But there's the people, like our good friend Reggie, who will go pick up a Patrick Mahomes in the first round or beginning of the second round. You know what I'm saying? But there's people that you can also get in the first round that makes sense. Because last year, I want to believe in your league, I think I got Travis Kelce first. And that's a tight end. I mean,
All depending on your draft spot.
yeah. So what I look at is best available. So if I can't get the best running back at my position, and then there's a top receiver, like, so put it this way, everybody wants to get Jonathan Taylor, right? Everybody wants to probably get Kamara. So if those guys are gone, and the next best person is Cooper Kupp, and say he's the top receiver in ADP, right? So when you have Cooper Kupp as your best option right there, I actually might go to receiver, just because he's the best. He's the best at that position at that moment.
and that's why I do mocks, honestly, is because I'm trying to see, can I get away with like third, fourth round running backs or something like that? Like, do I like what ends up happening there? Because a lot of it is, you know, if you're okay taking that.
Yeah.
Because you definitely need to have two running backs by the fourth round. Because like you said, after that you're almost out of starters, or you're into running back by committees, and you just don't know what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Or you're going to be playing the waiver wire.
There's plenty
I
of
mean,
receivers.
trust me, if you go on YouTube and any fantasy thing, there's going to be a thing called the zero running back strategy. People will go grab up all the best receivers, all the best tight ends, all the best QBs, and figure out their running backs later. It can work for you. I'm not going to tell you it will. I don't recommend it. I've tried it before. It's not the greatest. But I will tell you on the flip side, I've also went and got 4 running backs straight, and it still didn't work out for me. So, because you think that you get trade bait. I like to think that I'm drafting a 4th, 5th top running back for trade bait. But not everybody trades.
Yeah,
I mean, you just
in
gotta
our
think
league,
about
we
that.
have a big problem with trades. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
why. In every one of my leagues, it's hard.
Across many leagues.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, because I mean, there's some leagues that are a little bit more lax on it. There's some teams that are a little bit more anal. For me, I see a crazy trade, I'm looking at you crazy, like, bro, like the Dolphins got fined today for the whole thing, the integrity of the league. Okay,
Yeah.
they said that the Dolphins disrespected the integrity of the league. So therefore, I look at this as the NFL. I'm commissioner. I'm the NFL. I'm telling you that if you out here trying to tell me that Herbert for
Who
for
was that
somebody
for?
Justin Jackson, goddammit.
It was Justin Jackson. Was it
Herbert,
Justin Jackson?
yes, it was. Justin Jackson. All right, Herbert for Justin Jackson.
Don't make sense.
Crazy.
All right, but I'm telling you, people will do things like that, and me as a commissioner, I will.
Justify it.
Exactly. For me, I will want to veto that in 2 seconds as a commissioner without even their vote sometimes. I mean, I will respect the veto vote for everybody, but there's moments where people have
I mean,
tried
but those
some
two people, you
things.
didn't think they were trying to cheat. They thought it was the deal.
Unfortunately,
It was a deal for somebody.
it was a deal for somebody.
For everybody.
The thing I want to touch on with running backs that's important is, let's say you can't get top 5 or top 10 running back. You want to start looking at handcuffs. You want to try to
Very
figure
important.
out which running backs might be injury prone.
Dalvin Cook.
You know,
Christian McCaffrey.
all right. See, right there, you got 2 off the top of your head within seconds. You want to go and look and get the handcuffs. That way, any event that they do get hurt, now you got to start a running back on a top tier offense.
Also pay attention to the draft. So I mean, teams like the Bills, they just drafted Dalvin Cook's little brother. They said he's very similar to Dalvin Cook. Singletary was pretty good last year at the end, but if you're asking me, and they want a passing offense, and Josh Allen has the arm that he has, I'm actually gonna probably start looking at Dalvin Cook's little brother. I think it's James Cook.
James Cook, yep.
James Cook. I want to look at James Cook, and I want to look at him and be like, all right, bro, I'm gonna throw you the ball.
See,
that ball.
I'm never gonna draft my handcuff because then you know, at that point you're kind of screwed anyways. I'd rather take somebody else's and hopefully I get the lottery pick that I still have my starter and I got another one.
Especially if they have a catastrophic injury. Which is, who's talking about running backs, a very interesting story that's going on is the Jacksonville training camp. They're so their ETN is supposedly balling out, but they actually got Robinson still listed as number one. Last year, ETN was number one. Robinson, even though he had a better year, but before that, I mean, he was a rookie, obviously. Yeah. They thought ETN was the guy, but Robinson to me he would be the Sony Michel of the Dolphins. He's the ground and pound guy.
I'm staying away from them. I don't want
ETN
any part of
he
Jacksonville. I don't know who's good.
I mean, think about it. ETN, you might get a good value for that. I think
you
that
may
he's
get a good value with James Robinson too. He may be free. Dude's gonna be back week 1. They're saying.
Yeah.
They're saying because ETN is he's the standout of the offseason.
Yeah,
right?
but I think that's because they could throw him the ball. They could put.
And he was Trevor Lawrence's boy in college.
I mean they went and drafted 2 teammates, so it makes sense. You made Trevor Lawrence feel comfortable. Yeah. But that was a very, very good moment to think. I want to talk about one thing, y'all. People who burned y'all. One thing, boy. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all mine. It may not make sense because of the year he had last year, but I'm telling you right now, Joe Mixon will never get drafted.
He could be on my team every year.
Okay, Joe Mixon killed me. All right,
I like Joe Mixon.
No, bro.
I like Joe
The
Mixon.
man literally started out trash. No, the year before last year.
Last year I liked him. Last year
he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, bro.
Last season,
Oh, because Joe Burrow. This man wants to ball out.
He balls out.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not doing it.
Miles Sanders too, right?
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders is disappointing.
He's rough, boy.
Bro, they're
but he
talking
actually
about
might be good.
they're talking about they put I think Gainwell or somebody else as an RB1.
Yeah, and so
motivation.
I want to say it was Fantasy Pros or something that had posted it or something like that, and he actually commented on their thing, and I was like, look, man, to me, if a running back hears that his job might be taken from a fantasy source, I'm just looking at it like that, and he's jumping on it and he's laughing at them like saying I hate y'all. That man is not worried about his job. I'm telling you, he's not worried about his job.
You think it's motivation by the Eagles?
I think it is motivation because his game will really better than Miles Sanders. Like, come on.
Did they get a new coach this year?
No, same coach, everything's
pretty much the same. They got a new receiver. That's about
he was
it.
drafted by Peterson though.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, it doesn't. I mean, they had a really great run game last year, and I think they found
sharing carries too.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember Jalen Hurts. So he's a running quarterback. I mean, we might see elevation from him in passing as well. But I mean, you got to think about it, man. These running backs, they're hard to come by, and I'm telling you that some of these guys will burn you, dog. They will burn you.
The best part about Joe Mixon is he almost brought you back because he started balling out after the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean,
started having 100-yard touchdown games.
And no, they shut him down that year. The year that he did, they shut him down because it was literally a week. I could have swore every source, every outlet I checked for it, everybody's like, when is he coming back? When is he coming back? And then towards the end of the season, right before the playoffs, yeah, we're shutting him down. And I was like, yo. I've been holding on to this dude. I could have let this dude long time ago.
I got that man.
Go long time.
I got him for free in auction, pretty much, because people didn't want to touch him. I was like, thank you.
Who you got though as your
my person who burned me?
Yeah.
Listen, Michael Thomas.
Hey, bro, you saw that video I sent you today?
Nah,
bro.
F him, man. Listen, the man was the number one.
Because he was a Saints fan.
I am a Saints fan, second favorite team. But man was the number one wide receiver the year before. I drafted him.
I had him that year where he went crazy.
That's what I wanted.
He was going nuts for me, bro. Nuts.
And you got him the year he was hurt, didn't want to get
Hurt,
surgery,
nothing.
and like kept a secret.
And then now as y'all know, I'm a Jameis Winston hater. So I really don't like Jameis Winston.
30 for 30.
So
30.
I don't like Michael Thomas. He'll never be on my team again. Trust me. Crab
He
legs.
want to eat a dog. He
Yeah.
want to eat a dog. That's what he trying to
You ain't
do.
got 20/20 vision now. You got the laser eye.
Who burned you, Curry?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Man, I had so many different teams. I can't even think of anybody right now. Definitely Joe Mixon though.
Joe Mixon too.
We already
Okay.
mentioned him, but he is
Yeah.
burning multiple
I think you said Miles Sanders too, though.
At one point, yeah, Miles Sanders.
Yeah. Who you got, Casper? Who messed you up?
I'm trying to think like I try to like let the burn kind of work for me. I try to take the value the next year because sometimes you can kind of see what happened.
You might be getting burned if you pick up Saquon.
Oh, well, you know what? The ball. He's a really good offensive coordinator with the Bills, and they showed a lot of firepower last year. So maybe
And
he does
Saquon's in
something.
the second round, bro.
He stay healthy though. That's
That's the question.
To be honest with you, I think it's more so on. I think it's on Daniel Jones mostly.
Maybe.
I think if Daniel Jones gets right and the offensive line gets right, Saquon balls. I think they're just stacking the box against him
Balls,
because.
receivers looking terrible.
Well,
Their receiver situation is not
I mean,
looking
Tooney is
good.
probably the only one that looks
Galladay,
like,
I don't know what happened. He went there and just forgot how to play wide receiver.
He's supposed to be the touchdown man.
I don't even think he forgot.
He's not him and Daniel Jones.
They don't
have
mold
any
well.
chemistry.
I think that's what it is. I think Daniel Jones don't know how to throw to that
Tony-
man. I mean, did he not ball out when he was in Detroit with Stafford? Stafford just threw that thing up, and he was looking like baby Megatron.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, then Tony isn't he like injured, trying to recover from it?
Tony gets hurt. I had him last year. I played him in the 10 reception game, and I was like, oh, it's coming back. And then he would get hurt and get one reception.
Yeah.
That dude was killing me last
it's
year with
horrible.
that.
But
bro.
you got
So he burned
Sterling
A
Shepard.
little bit.
You got Darius Slayton. Like,
yeah,
They drafted somebody too, I think. I think they got a rookie wide receiver.
I don't know who he is, but he obviously isn't doing nothing yet.
I don't know what to expect from the Giants. We got to see on that, man.
We'll let them boys
Lord.
go. All right, man. Let's go to some of this depth chart analysis. Funny thing is, I mean, we kind of touched on Miami, but let's go on Tampa. Tampa's a good person to start with. You know, I always hate Brady. I mean, we already got enough drama because of Brady now, and I mean, Brady goes to a team after he leaves the Patriots and then wins the Super Bowl. It's just he got 7 rings. He cheats. Nobody cares. And I mean, this is one thing you guys will realize.
Yeah, why
is that
isn't he
I
in the tampering?
do not like that.
That man was part of the
I don't know,
tampering.
man.
I guess players can't get in trouble.
He's the GOAT. So
Listen,
he
bro.
avoids all controversy.
Listen,
I don't know.
I just gotta ignore. I just think Brian Flores' thing took a toll into that whole sentencing for us.
yeah, that was an interesting situation.
But I'm telling you now, Brady. I mean, he obviously has the power to go recruit whoever he wants. Julio Jones, y'all. Julio Jones. Because the funny thing now, let's put it in perspective. Julio Jones literally could have went to the Packers and became the number 1.
Yep.
Just off a name. You know what I'm saying? He could have been the number 1. He could have went to the Colts. I think they said that they were also looking at him. I mean, rapport with Matt Ryan, you would have been over there. You would have been technically the number 2.
Maybe you want to change though.
No, he wanted a ring. So he wanted.
So is he for sure wide receiver 3 on Bucks?
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, as it's currently constructed, yes.
Yeah.
Because we're not like. I mean, I feel like Tampa's blowing smoke about
He's
Godwin.
gonna be just like Antonio Brown. Like they're gonna try and force feed that or whatever. But
I don't think so.
He balled out. Tony Brown.
But
though.
I mean,
little bit.
Brady may do that. Brady may look out for him. But my whole thing is, listen, bro. I saw Julio wear 85, dog. Julio's never worn 2 numbers that was that high in his life, bro. Okay, so that boy came from number 8 to number 11 to number 2 to now we're talking about 85, bro. Like the last time somebody relevant with 85 was Ocho Cinco.
Cinco, yeah.
So I mean, let's be real. I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully he changes numbers. It's kind of irrelevant, but I just want y'all to know, like, you got Mike Evans. You got Russell Gage, who Brady convinced to come over from Atlanta as well.
yeah.
You have Chris Godwin, who's on the he's trailing upwards as far as his injury and his ACL recovery.
Say he may be back for week 1.
I don't believe it because why would they go sign Julio?
And why rush it?
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, he lost AB. Why not?
I mean, I'm just saying, like you go get Julio. To me, that's a sign of we want to bring him back slowly.
They lost Gronk.
There's no rush now.
OJ Howard.
Yeah, they got OJ. Oh no, they
No,
lost
he
OJ
left.
Howard.
OJ and Gronk.
OJ Howard
Yeah.
went to the
They
Bills.
got
You're right.
Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph.
Rudolph, that's right.
Who's also I gave up on years ago.
Maybe this is year though. Maybe this is year.
Because Kyle Rudolph, well, he had at least one good season.
Yeah,
A
one.
couple of them. Yeah.
Oh, with the Vikings?
Yeah, one
When
great
he was
season.
doing his thing.
With the Vikings?
And the thing is, well,
He was in
Cameron Brate is
New
also
York.
a very reliable tight end.
Mm-hmm.
He's been with that team for
A
long
good minute
time.
now.
Wow, yeah.
Jameis Winston days.
OJ Howard
Trash.
couldn't stay healthy, but Kyle Rudolph is pretty reliable. So it's going to be interesting to see how his addition to the team will make some change.
If I punt tight end, I'm streaming Kyle Rudolph during the year.
That's what
I'll
I'm
play him
saying.
for a game or
And that's the
two.
thing.
You know who's another one
all
that-
ties in back to the tight end situation. If you can't get a top tight end, maybe you need to do some research and look into other tight ends who might be on the offense that's pretty strong.
Y'all know who the Jaguars tight end is?
It was the mailman. What's his name?
The mailman.
Yeah,
Evan
Dan
Ingram.
Arnold, and then Evan Ingram. Yeah, Dan
Evan
Arnold.
Ingram
and
left the
Evan
Giants
Ingram.
this year, and Evan Ingram's essentially a receiver. So, I mean, I think Evan Ingram might get off this year.
Oh yeah,
I
talking
got-
about people that burn me. He's the one.
Oh, boy.
He, well, I did. I
Hey,
did.
you know
draft
who
him
burned a lot of
terrible.
people is Odell, boy. Odell did not show
Oh,
up
man,
for a
that's
couple of
another
years.
Yeah. I ain't never
Browns.
drafted. He ain't burned me.
Burnt my ass one season so bad.
Yeah, the Browns was
Dog.
terrible.
All right, so, I mean,
But
who else we
Tampa
got?
Bay's running back.
Oh,
I really want a piece of Leonard Fournette, bro. That dude, Rojo's gone.
Yeah.
All they got, I think, now is the
They
guy that
picked
used to
up
play from
somebody.
Cincinnati. Giovanni Bernard, I think, is the
Hey,
backup.
has
really.
Fournette ever had like a serious injury yet? Or
Not
he's been pretty
really.
much healthy, right?
And he
You're
showed
right.
up. He showed up heavy, but now like the reports are, he lost the weight
I
right
stopped
away.
listening to those things. The only person I listen to when they talk about they heavy is Zion Williams. we ain't really worried about
Different
that
topic.
Right now. So I mean, like you said, Kyle Rudolph might actually look good because I'm gonna tell you now. One thing about Brady is he's gonna definitely feed his tight end as a check down.
Right, you want that offense.
Yeah, so you want pieces of Tampa. I
Yep.
think Tampa is a really good team to go get some people. Mike Evans, he will definitely go and give you crazy games. And then there's games where he will drive you nuts because he will have 0 points until the last 5 minutes and then just goes off. It just kills me
All of a
because
sudden got 30 points.
I'm telling you, it's happened so many different times. I can't even.
And the coach left, and so I bet you Byron Leftwich is calling more plays now. I think he's more innovative, more risks. I like Tampa Bay.
All right, let's go to another team. I really, really am very curious to see how these people go. Reggie was over here hyping these boys up a whole lot recently. So Cincinnati Bengals, we got Joe Burrow. They obviously went to the Super Bowl.
Joe Burr.
You know what I'm saying? They obviously went to the Super Bowl. Right. And what I'm saying now is, it's like, look, bro. It's now they're taking him and they're looking at him like he's the next Brady. So I mean, when we're talking about that, we got Higgins, we got Tyler Boyd, we got who else?
Chase.
Jamar Chase, of course.
Chase, yeah.
They picked up tight ends as well. Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
Oh, they got Hayden Hurst.
Picked up Hayden Hurst. And you got Mixon old trash behind.
And you got not P Ryan, but the other Evans, the other running back.
Yeah, number 30. So I mean, I'm not too stressing them, but I think that they will have a potent offense. But here's my hot take. I actually think Higgins actually proves could be better than all three of them.
All three? I'm definitely pulling for Boyd, but Chase.
The reason why I say that is, like I said, I think Chase hit lightning in a bottle last year. We know he's a rookie. Nobody, I mean, and then all through camp, Chase can't catch the ball.
That threw me off.
He's
Yeah.
dropping.
That threw me
I was
off.
selling that.
Yeah,
They
so
sold the hell out
so
of
as I'm saying, everybody was over here thinking. Trust me, there's tape on that boy now.
Remember they said the
There's
same thing
tape.
about DK too, when DK was dropping balls in camp and stuff. And
The crazy thing about Jamar was he was just breaking 70-yard touchdowns. Like
He's
he was
electric.
nothing,
yeah.
He's electric, but there's gonna be tape on him.
yeah, and
Well, here's the thing: we got Higgins for 2 years already. He didn't show it the first year, but this year, I'm telling you, I played that man last year, dog. I'm like, all right, man, it's just Higgins. I was like, I think I gotta still get this. Why this man went off for like 3 touchdowns, almost like
You knocked me out the
300?
playoffs.
Bro,
Because of
Higgins
him alone.
killed me.
And I like him because
Right.
he's cheaper, right? So if you're gonna take a shot, you can get him cheaper than Chase, and he may be better.
He may be, because let's put it this way. The reason I say that, height, jump balls,
Yeah,
red
he's a big
zones.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's fast,
he's
yeah.
fast. He's. I mean, trust me. When he was over there, Higgins is on Clemson, right?
I think
Yeah.
he was the number 1 wide receiver
He
that
was
year.
number
was,
one,
he was.
and trust me, Trevor was throwing that boy. So listen, man, I like him. I liked him a lot. Chase, I know people are gonna overdraft him, so you can get Higgins for the low. Another situation we could jump back on the Dolphins, similar situation to Higgins and Chase. We're looking at Tyreek Hill and we're looking at Waddle.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are going to take Tyreek Hill first round off rip. I mean, let's be real, it's Tyreek Hill. You can't. It's lightning in a bottle. But if you ask me, I would take Waddle a little bit later. You get him cheaper, and you can actually build your team up a little bit better. And then who knows if Tyreek Hill actually balls out the same way or not. So
I think Tyreek Hill's draft stock lowers. Not that he's going to a worse team. He's going to
Yeah.
a good team still, being the Dolphins. But with Waddle getting so many receptions last year, I think their stats are going to be pretty much even this coming year, in my opinion. It's
you
going to be
think,
it's going to be
though,
closer
I mean,
than what it was.
I don't know, man.
you wouldn't know who you would pick on that?
That's bold.
I think it'll be
Taking
close,
what,
man.
Waddle over Tyreek?
Yeah.
I don't say if I take Waddle over. I think it'll be close.
I don't even think it'll be.
You don't think it'll be close?
I don't know if it'll be close. It's
What?
possible.
Tyreek Hill had 1,200 receiving yards. Waddle had broke 1,000, right?
Yeah.
It just becomes like, what does Mike Daniels want to feed?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, here's my
really
here's
don't know
my
how this
thought
gonna play
process,
out.
right? Here's my thought process for the Dolphins. You know what they did in San Francisco with that offense, right? You start moving around Tyreek Hill like Deebo Samuel, and it's gonna cause havoc, right? You could throw him in the slot, throw him on the outside, throw him in the backfield. You could do the same thing with Waddle.
Well, both.
So my thing is that while they're scared of Tyreek, Waddle gets off. And then when Waddle starts having a better game than Tyreek, they start letting Tyreek get off. And then when they start trying to key on both of them, you got running backs, you got Gesicki, you got Cedric Wilson.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Dolphins,
and that's one other person we didn't touch on, Cedric Wilson.
Cedric Wilson, if you remember what he was doing in the absence of who got hurt,
Gallup?
Amari, or it
Amari,
was
I think.
Gallup
Gallup
got
got
hurt.
Cooper Gallup, yeah.
Once Gallup got hurt, this man Cedric Wilson stepped up, and when I'm telling you, he was running, he was going crazy.
He's
yo.
catching that ball, man.
He was going crazy. So I mean, Cedric Wilson, great pickup. Also great pickups. I mean, we obviously lack the run game in the Dolphins. So I mean, we got
Got some
Edmonds.
solid running backs.
Edmonds is going like 7 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so like around there, I'll take the shot. I mean,
Why not?
Why not, right?
At this point, you just got to grab the best players that you can and see how it plays out.
I mean, yeah, like Chiefs wide receivers, Packers wide receivers, Dolphins running backs. Like, there's a
Dolphins
couple of
running
them.
backs, for whatever reason, the one thing the Dolphins always make sure they got is running backs that can run the ball.
Listen, we had Drake one year. We had
Ronnie
listen, bro,
Bell,
we had so many
Ricky,
people.
Jay Ajayi.
Jay Ajayi.
Ajayi, No Sean Marino for that
Sean
one couple
was-
of games, and he was destroying them. But hey, he did it. I mean, well, so let's flip to Dallas. I mean, so obviously they lost Amari.
Yep.
Right.
I mean,
Dak didn't have a stellar season last year.
well, offensively, they're the number one offense.
I mean, he was
Total
going.
offense,
He was
which
going.
is crazy.
Was
I
that
don't-
actually when he tore his leg up?
No, not
It was
the year before.
Year before,
Yeah.
he just didn't produce as much as he did, and CeeDee Lamb was supposed to have his takeoff year. He
I
did.
think it's
I
this
think
year.
it
It's
should be this year. It
CeeDee
be
Lamb
this
should
year.
do his thing this year. I think Michael Gallup, now that there's no more Amari Cooper, he's had some solid games too.
Yeah.
Some
definitely.
real solid games.
Yeah, I think Gallup's pretty much free. Yeah, you pick him up. I don't know if he's gonna play week 1 or whatever, but
Yeah.
like, and somebody else from they just lost a wide receiver today. The Cowboys.
Cowboys?
Yeah, the rookie that they got.
Oh, I don't
He got
remember
hurt.
who his
seen
name
that
was.
one.
But we'll see. But I want to highlight there's 2 people on the Dallas. I mean, you're looking at, well, actually 3, but I'm going to bring up these 2 first. But how do you feel about Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard? I mean,
It all depends. It all depends. That's another handcuff situation.
I actually don't view it like that though.
I do.
Here's my thing. Zeke is, I feel like they're paying Zeke because, you know, he was obviously lightning. Like, he was killing it. And he was technically one of the best running backs in the league for about his first couple of years in. He's getting older. I think that you can't not give him the ball because of the price that they paid.
Right.
But was Pollard not being more productive catching and running
Last year,
as well?
yes. Last year, yes.
So-
he stepped up. And that's why I say he's a handcuff, because at the end of the day, you know you're going to have people that's going to go and get Elliott above him.
Of course.
If you getting Pollard above Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, no, you're crazy.
as hell.
No, you're crazy. I mean, but I'm
in
just
the
saying.
event that, you know, Elliott is gone and you need a running back, you need to go get Pollard.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they're talking about using them as wide receivers because they don't really have wide receivers there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing.
And that would make him a dual threat. Now you got a running back who's also catching passes, and in PPR leagues, that's gold.
Yeah.
You had, I think today Jerry Jones said that everything needs to be run through Zeke.
And yeah, crazy Jerry.
Yeah,
I mean,
gotta-
he ain't the
Jerry gotta
coach,
get out.
but it's Jerry. So
Jerry, I'm not gonna lie. Jerry need to go retire, bro. He need to go
Just sit down somewhere.
He need to get some margaritas in the Bahamas, y'all. That's what he need to go do. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Dalton Schultz last year, I mean, he came on and he was doing his thing, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to keep starting him over Hawkinson. But then I started realizing Hawkinson started like folding on me. So when he started folding on me, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I need to start Dalton Schultz.
Folded. It's like even play.
Yeah, sometimes he wouldn't even play. So Dalton
makes
Schultz
sense.
came
That all
through.
comes down to the situation over there in Detroit. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. But I also think that Dalton Schultz is gonna be a top 5, top 6 kind
Top
of.
5?
Yeah,
I can see it. I can see it.
I think you
5,
gotta
strong
give
5,
him you gotta
maybe.
give him that respect. Dak has a
Yeah.
rapport with him.
Definitely
Yeah.
top 10.
I
No,
can see
no,
it.
I mean, but
It's
that's not
possible at
saying
5.
much to me. When you talk about tight ends, it's not saying much to me.
Because out of the top 10 tight ends you think will be solid this season,
Mm-hmm.
who you got?
I mean, I can only name 3 for sure: Kelsey, Mark Andrews, Kittle, and people saying Kittle declining, but
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts
putting up
should.
there.
No, he's going.
he
to.
should.
He's the safety net.
It may be just Schultz, maybe up there,
Yeah,
just because like the volume he's gonna get.
Yeah, and then you look at Irv Smith on the Vikings. They said, I mean, they're planning to use him a little bit better.
Somebody you got to monitor.
You got to monitor him because I'm telling you, tight end is volatile.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make sure that when you're streaming tight ends. Oh, snap!
Oh, Waller, yeah,
Waller's
Waller.
top 5 for sure.
Waller's top
But then
I don't
again,
know, you may
like
not
you
get
said,
this
he
work.
might lose some touches because of Adams and Renfro and Marcus and
And I think they got Gesicki at 7 rated so far. He's 7, so
I think they could give him a little bit more respect, but we obviously have to see what Tua can do with him this year in this new offense.
you gotta get in the end zone with him. That's all.
Yeah, shoot. Let's go from there. Interesting topic. I mean, Baltimore is here. I mean, we got Lamar, bro. Lamar's out here trying to fight for his contract. He might get
Might be number 1 quarterback this year, maybe.
Listen.
That's what they
We
saying.
got Baltimore down there, but now with these injuries, it's looking scary. In my opinion, at wide receiver,
You really got Bateman
you got Bateman.
Yeah.
and you got Andrews.
At running back, you got Andrews, and then that running back, Mike Davis.
Yeah.
I mean, these teams, they kind of caught on to Lamar after his first season, and they might start hammering down on him, especially if he doesn't have enough weapons at his disposal.
Well, I seen that boy he hit the gym this season.
Yeah, and they got Duvernay or what's his name? Duvernay. I like the Ravens offense. Like I want to get some piece of it. I want Lamar really because I know he's gonna be running and throwing, and so like they're gonna have to kind of use him more.
Yeah.
And then like they let go of Hollywood. Like I get that was like mutual kind of thing, but they must believe that they have some kind of
I didn't
backfill for
agree.
that.
I didn't
I
agree with
think
that.
when you look at Hollywood, it was a mutual thing because Hollywood obviously didn't like the offense because he wasn't always getting targeted.
Right.
And then when you're looking at the Cardinals, who obviously lost D-Hop, which is also somebody y'all should look out for in the later rounds because still. But you're talking about a person who has rapport from college with this man. And I mean, that's obviously seeing the theme with some of these young quarterbacks. They're pairing up these young quarterbacks with people they've already played with in college and had success with. So when you're looking at Kyler, who obviously, they're trying this man about his film studies, but
Baby Yoda.
you know what I'm saying? But Kyler is a real deal now.
He's balling.
But I mean, when you're talking about Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, we're talking about a guy that when he was in Oklahoma, this man was getting deep bombs all the time, bro, and he was killing these boys. Yeah. So I mean, you're thinking about Kyler Murray getting his old guy back and what he had with D-Hop, and then you put what was it, Moore? Rondale Moore.
Rondale Moore's on there.
Kirk is on the Jags. He's number one now. So I mean,
paid.
Yeah, that's what set everybody off.
The Jaguar tax.
So I mean, you're talking about the Arizona Cardinals getting those guys. I mean, I think they made a smart choice in getting Kyler another familiar weapon that is trustworthy. Because I mean, you went and got him Ertz. That's
That's right. He got Ertz.
That's a good tight end right there himself.
That's another one.
Yeah.
See what you do with him, yeah.
Dawson Knox is another person.
Yeah, Dawson.
Yeah, Dawson Knox, but then again, they went and got O.J. Howard over there too.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a little.
Let's see, O.J. Howard had issues over in Tampa with his health. He couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, now you about to go into the cold.
We had to see how that plays out, but Dawson Knox was very solid.
Yeah.
Dawson Knox did not burn me.
One more team. Let's see the last one.
Let's get a good one. All right, for kicks and giggles for my dog Zay. Let's go with the Eagles, y'all. Because I'm gonna let y'all know an inside thing that's going on in our friend group. Zay has been talking crazy about Tua. So he says that Tua can't throw for 3,500 yards this year, right? I mean, I'm not even about to go into that. But he thinks Jalen Hurts is better. I mean, Jalen Hurts is just a running quarterback. If you really put it,
fantasy-wise, he has more options.
Vic, you had Jalen Hurts last year. That man would have like 2 points, and in the fourth quarter,
you have like 30.
Yeah, and
you will have a heart attack.
And
you will have a heart attack.
It was not
with Jalen
nice
Hurts.
football.
It wasn't, and I wish I didn't have him on my team because I had Rodgers, but I couldn't be mad starting him.
The Eagles, I don't even know who I'd take. Like even AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, because you got to think about it. Is he going to be able to throw the ball to him properly?
What happens to Devonta Smith?
Quarterback is key, man.
The quarterback is key. So I think the Eagles run on how Jalen Hurts goes. Also, another tight end to look at on there is Goddard.
And that's why I say
He
like that.
disappointed me because they traded Ertz. I was so hyped. I went and got Goddard.
Yeah,
he didn't do anything the whole year.
Yeah.
And all it ended up being was Jalen Hurts running in touchdowns in the last 2 minutes.
Still everybody's fucking
bro,
touchdowns.
it's just like this guy.
Yeah, for sure.
But Jalen Hurts has more weapons now, and this is the second year.
AJ Brown's the man.
I think he's projected 5th quarterback right now. So
it's because he runs.
We'll see. Yeah, that's only fantasy quarterback, not best quarterback. Fantasy quarterback
for sure.
That hurts. I can't.
It's hard to say, right?
I can't trust that. I don't want to be a part of that. I like AJ Brown a lot, but I don't trust Jalen.
Good for them. Him, Devontae Smith.
They may win a bunch of football games, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's kick some names out here, y'all. Certain players that you would take over a certain player. I mean, so give me a player, somebody that you like that you think that might be, really good this year. Actually, no, sleeper.
Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think, is going to be a sleeper, a good sleeper that you should look into.
Okay. I personally think it's a mixture, but I have two. I think you have either Gabriel Davis.
Yep. Gabriel Davis. The funny thing about him, I drafted him last season. I held on to him for a long time.
And he
didn't do
never showed up.
As soon as they hit the playoffs, this man starts balling.
No, but he started balling towards the end of the season for us because he was killing it for me.
On over into the playoffs, stars balling.
Yeah.
Look out for Gabriel Davis.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people saying avoid him, but I think that you can get a really good.
Emmanuel Sanders is gone.
Yeah. Take the chance.
Take the chance because that could be a number 2 receiver for sure.
Yeah.
Also, my other guy was Kenneth Walker III. I think when you're looking at the loss of Chris Carson, who was usually their bell cow, you're looking at Rashad Penny. Could also be that, but Rashad Penny has also shown that he can fold. So they drafted this guy out of I want to say
Michigan State.
Michigan State.
You
So
gotta watch the game against Michigan. He ran. I think he ran for 4 or 5 touchdowns and like 200 something yards. Like, I think every bit of their offense was him running, and they beat Michigan.
Oh wow.
Like,
Say
it was
less.
nuts. He was going nuts.
I mean, who you got though as your?
Well, my sleeper is Jerry Jeudy, but after the news today with Tim Patrick getting hurt, I don't know if he's that much of a sleeper anymore. He
Yeah,
might be a guaranteed.
Yeah, he's guaranteed. for
I
sure.
always felt that Denver was just a quarterback away from being a playoff team with Russell Wilson.
Look what happened
So,
when they got paid.
Yeah.
But you know what? I understand why you say you like Jerry Jeudy because you know the thing is like he had a lot of this hype coming out of college,
Yeah.
and he was
He's supposed to be that guy.
He's supposed to be that guy,
And he got hurt.
shifty,
He got-
AV kind of guy.
Yeah, he got hurt last year, and then when he came back, Teddy couldn't give him the ball. I think this is really the year for him to shine. It's kind of like what they say about CD Lamb. I think Jerry Jeudy could do the same thing.
I got you. Who you got, Casper?
I'm going with my Green Bay Packers. I think Alan Lazard is going to be a monster. People are overthinking it too much.
I'm sleeping.
You know,
to
like
be honest with you.
he's had great games in the past, and like Devontae was getting like 150 targets. Who's getting that?
Yeah,
You know.
the only thing I would say about him, I think he's a big body receiver. He goes up, he attacks the ball. So I mean, he's somebody that you can obviously, if you have Aaron Rodgers, he's going to be the go-to because there's a rapport. I just want to say, I think that the rookie that they got and the new one that's been making headlines all through
Dubs,
yeah,
Romeo Dubs, and
yeah,
Christian
he's been-
Watson.
those two guys, I don't know.
But
I mean,
Christian Watson's not going to be there first, so like he's
That's
not
fine.
going to be there.
Yeah,
And then I want the number one. I mean, it's not going to be Sammy Watkins.
Oh,
I mean, like
Yeah, I don't
so.
know.
Sammy Watkins has like 3 good
Gotta have his
games
moments.
every year, and that's
And
it.
then that's it. That's it. Talk about getting burned.
Oh, listen,
Wait, was
'cause
it
I
Chiefs?
remember when he just came out of the draft, he went to Buffalo. I'm like, oh, this
Yeah.
man is he's a
The
true.
Bills is supposed to be that dude.
And he did a little bit, and then he just ever since then it's always this hype about Sammy Watkins. You
Yeah.
think he's supposed to do something, he never does it.
It was him, and who was the other tall wide receiver from FSU?
Oh,
Kelvin Benjamin?
Benjamin.
Yeah,
Kelvin
he was
Benjamin,
another
Kelvin
one. Oh, my
Benjamin.
God.
I had him the
Perhaps
first
that's
year.
worse.
The
The
ups and
first
downs
year.
of Kel- he a tight end now.
Yeah,
I don't
Is
think
he?
he-
Tried to
I
become
think
a
he's
tight end
yeah he
last
tried
year.
and it didn't work out. It
Wow.
still didn't work out.
Couldn't
Yeah,
stop
that boy
eating.
needed to do his he need to figure that out. All right, so let's go pivot back to what I was saying before. As far as just naming out some players, like for me, I think that a player that everybody should go after and probably target would be somebody along the lines. Who should I go? Running back or receiver?
Go running back.
Running back. Safe bet running back is Jonathan Taylor. But do you have anybody that you would pick over Jonathan Taylor? Because he's probably going number 1.
You know, my favorite running back is DeAndre Swift. I mean, he's gonna catch like 80
He's a
catches,
sleeper too.
and he was balling out. He got hurt or whatever, but he's gonna get a lot of receptions.
I like that.
And
I
I
like
think
that a
that
lot.
he may end up surprising people.
Okay. You got any type of players?
I wouldn't pick anyone over Jonathan Taylor right now, but I can't forget about King Henry.
Yeah.
The man's just different.
So, question then.
He's
So,
just
King
different.
Henry, I mean, obviously he got hurt last year, right? But he was destroying people.
Messed my season.
Yeah,
Destroying
but because of that, that's probably why I still got to put JT over him because of injury. I don't know how he's gonna bounce back.
Okay, so my question to that is, do you like? So you put him over Kamara?
Yes,
Yeah.
because I don't like James Wilson.
So when we talk about Kamara, I mean,
The haters
Off
for
the
you.
talent alone, Taylor, Henry.
here's my thing.
It's not how it's gonna get drafted.
Kamara is gonna get receptions,
Yes.
and he's gonna bust these runs.
Henry's probably gonna go after. He'll probably go after McCaffrey, Cook, Taylor.
See, I'm not.
Like-
I don't even trust McCaffrey because
I'm
of
scared.
all this-
Scared of McCaffrey.
Okay, so McCaffrey,
I'll go get Henry before I go get.
So would y'all take Dalvin over McCaffrey? They're both injury prone.
No, I think I'm
say-
going.
Dice.
Take
That's
Dalvin over
dice.
McCaffrey.
I'm scared of
Hurt my
McCaffrey.
ass last season.
Listen,
I am
but the thing about
petrified.
McCaffrey though, even though he burnt you, he can end up being a league winner again.
Hey, you burned me 2 seasons.
Well, I mean,
Third time, that's shame on me.
Mixon, prime example. Now he is. We'll see if he keep it up this season, but
Listen, don't get me twisted. If Mixon is like the best running back on the board, I'll pick him up. I just don't want to.
Second round, he said you're the face. You're like, oh man.
Yeah, I mean, because you can't deny that Joe Burrow has that offense running. He got a right tackle. He got a left tackle. He got the line improved.
Yeah, the line was bad last year.
Yeah, I mean,
Still did
to be
his
honest
thing.
with you, let's be real. I mean, they probably could have won the Super Bowl if they had a line.
Possibly,
And
yeah.
that just goes to show that sometimes if you got a lot of weapons, you can make do with that line.
So I mean, so shoot, boy, I'm talking about Joe Burrow was killing these boys. So I mean, Joe Mixon was looking like he was a fantasy star for years at this point. Like he looked like he'd been seasoned to this. Why he been folding on me the 2 years past?
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously they made the Super Bowl run, so he did his thing. But trust me. But I mean, anything y'all boys want to say about
Anybody you
anything?
don't want to draft?
Oh shoot.
Who I don't want to draft?
Who you just think's too expensive, maybe?
Too expensive?
I-
I mean, I'm just
Patrick
scared of
Mahomes.
Christian McCaffrey.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is too
quarterback.
expensive, bro. I mean, listen,
Listen,
no.
if you drafting, all right,
You can draft him later, I think.
I don't
It depends
like-
who your people are.
Yeah,
your
I mean,
opinions.
so that's a key thing in your draft. You will never know how that draft is gonna go because I'm telling you now, you will think that you can do all the mock drafts in the world. The second you hop in your draft, somebody's gonna reach for a defense in the first round, and you're gonna look like, what just happened?
not only that, somebody gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get a tight end first round, or I'm gonna go get Patrick Mahomes first. I'm gonna get Tom Brady first."
Yeah,
exactly.
What are you doing?
And I mean, truth be told, you can look at.
Hey, I got a tight end first round last year. He did great.
The only tight end you should be picking up
only
in the
one
first
is
round is
Travis
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, that's what I got.
And that's
That's
fine.
what you got.
Yeah, exactly. Only one.
Yeah.
I mean, truthfully.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, man, it's a lot of people out here that you guys just got to pay attention to. We plan on giving you guys much more information about the season going forward. We don't just do football, but we also do basketball. So when October hits, stay tuned because trust me, that's gonna get interesting. We got plenty debates, plenty of hot takes. Jordan versus
Look out for the
LeBron.
Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah,
Oh,
because of
God.
course, everybody gotta have.
We
one.
might have a special episode on that
Two
one.
special guests
2.5 hours
will
long.
get into a heated argument about Jordan versus LeBron.
And I promise you, they'll
Endless.
get nowhere. They will get
Endless.
nowhere.
If you have time to waste, watch that.
Instagram's gonna charge us for all those messages.
Trust me. But other than that, man, I just want to wrap this up and congrats to launching this podcast episode today. I think we've been
time
thinking
coming.
about this for a little bit. I want to appreciate my dogs for helping me put this through.
Respect.
And it's something that we're gonna try to make sure that we can perfect and get you guys content as much as possible. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you for watching the FantasyFlo podcast. This is my dog Vic over here. This is my dog Casper. This is my dog Kyrie. Actually, they're not just my dogs; they're my brothers. So I want y'all to make sure that y'all give them that same love that I'm gonna give them. But I'm gonna tell y'all this right now: if y'all watching some movies right now, if y'all watching some TV shows, make sure you check out my dog's TikTok. Let them know about it, bro.
Appreciate it. Fortune Stereo. I'm on TikTok, YouTube. Check it out, man.
All right,
These
man.
boys gonna be in there with me too. Don't worry.
So listen, bro. Like, subscribe, comment, all of that. Make sure that you guys show us some love. FantasyFlo _ on Instagram. We're gonna get you guys more content.
I've been locked in on the vision, the shit for the team.